Hey guys, this is Fight Mike here, back with another video. We're just going to be going through the new UFC fight announcements that they've released over the last few days. We'll jump straight in with Bryce Mitchell versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. It hasn't been fully announced by the UFC, but I really do believe that this one is happening. I've been seeing it all over the internet this morning. Full Violence was the ones that I initially saw it from, and they're usually a very trustworthy source. But Bryce, come on, man, what are you doing, man? I swear his manager actually has disabilities that we cannot fix because this is just such a bad matchup. It's not like a bad matchup as in like Bryce Mitchell can't win. I would honestly almost pick him to win. But dude, don't go to bantamweight. Please. I hate that you're at 135 now. You're not that small at featherweight. You're really not that small. The guys that you can see moving up and down, they usually have a frame difference. Whereas Bryce just has a muscular difference from the people in his weight class. He just needs to gain muscle. He needs to gain strength. Not his frame is featherweight. His frame's not bantamweight. What are you doing, Bryce? What is your manager doing, man? Oh, I want to pummel your manager. It just makes no sense. Bryce could be a better fighter at featherweight if he gained a lot of, if he not even a lot, if he gained a bit of weight. He's a pudgy looking guy. If he can get some more power behind him, he would have been a better featherweight. But his frame is bigger than these bantamweight frames. Think of a bantamweight and just think of Bryce Mitchell. He's much bigger than a Corey Sandhagen. Sandhagen's probably a similar height, but he's built really slim. Bryce isn't built that slim. He'll have to lose so much weight. He'll be so dehydrated if he even makes the weight. I guarantee he'll miss weight or he'll come in looking terrible. I literally don't think he can make that. And his brain health is going to be terrible. He got shot off for minutes by Josh Emmett when he had more water and more just everything in his brain. His brain is going to be literally on its last legs at the weigh-ins. And then he's coming in the day after going to be probably 5 pounds less hydrated. Like, this is just such a bad fight to make. And he's also never he's fought in bantamweight once, and it was in 2015 when he was 20 years old. Maybe when he was 20, his frame could hold it, but now it can't. His frame is bigger than when he was 20, obviously. That being said, though, it is lucky because Saeed's never got a KO in his life. That's actually true. And he's got literal no KO power. You watch him fight, you won't think he's got KO power. This is his opportunity to get the first, though, because Bryce Mitchell's brain is going to be having zero water in it. The one good thing about this matchup, though, is that I'm really confident that Bryce can actually out-grapple Saeed, easily. So out of anyone at bantamweight, he probably pulled a good card. I'm just pissed that this fight was even made at bantamweight. I'm not mad about the matchup itself. I think Bryce Mitchell wins this. But, okay, let's say he wins this and then he fights a power puncher bantamweight. He's going to get slept for minutes. He's going to be slept for so badly. Come on. I hope his manager gets sacked for this. But let's move on to the next fight. We've got Chris Moutinho versus Malcolm Weltmaker. Come on, again, this is not a fight that I'm happy with. I swear they bring in Chris Moutinho to make their upcoming star just beat the shit out of him and just make him a punching bag. Like, I get it. He's got green hair. He's got an amazing chin, and he's actually a decent fighter. But you're not putting these actual generational talents of Sean O'Malley and Malcolm Wellmaker against Chris Moutinho and expecting him to win. You don't expect Chris Moutinho to win this, so don't put him in the fight. I think it's just like a lamb to slaughter type thing. If you notice, the last two UFC opponents he's got is Sean O'Malley and Malcolm Wellmaker. Like, Malcolm's probably the most obvious prospect that came out of this year so far. And we're giving him Chris Moutinho, who's not been in the UFC for 5 fights. We should be getting Wellmaker, a fighter who we know is UFC level. We know he's getting wins in the UFC. I don't think Moutinho got a UFC win in his first stint. At least Cameron Simon got a UFC win. At least he was a 24-year-old prospect himself. Moutinho is 28 or 29. He might be older than that. I'm not sure on how old he is, but I don't think he's that young. And we know he's not UFC level. So why are we getting this matchup made? And the other thing is, so many people are going to gas up Moutinho. He's been on a 5-fight winning streak, and it's been a tear amongst the best competitors. But his 5-fight winning streak is against bad competition. Let me read out some of the records of this 5-fight winning streak. So the best one, 8-2, really good record. I can, if all of them were like that, I'd be like, okay, this is going to be a tough matchup. Okay, that's the best one. 6-7 record, 22-16, 6-3, 14-16. He fought one good guy and then beat four cans in Journeyman, and now he's all of a sudden UFC level, and we're putting in Malcolm Wellmaker, and he's going to beat Malcolm Wellmaker, our biggest prospect. No, he's not. Make an interesting fight. If this is not like a minus 800 or minus 1000 for Wellmaker, I'm gonna be mad. This is just a speed running CTE matchup for Chris Matinho. This is not a fair fight. Give Matinho someone he can somewhat have an okay performance against. Give him a bottom level bantamweight, like bottom level skill wise as well. Someone who's about to come out of the UFC. Don't just give him this touted young prospect. Yeah, I don't like this fight. I don't think that this is a good match. This isn't good matchmaking at all. It's not even like you're feeding Wellmaker a Chris Matinho who's like a good, like older, grizzled vet. He's not. No, everyone looks at that name and remembers, oh, he's the green-haired guy that got beaten up by O'Malley, who didn't move his head off center line the entire fight. Why not give someone that Malcolm Wellmaker can look really good after beating? Like he did against Cameron Simon, he looked really good against him, and people actually value that win. No one values this Matinho win. All right, I'm gonna stop chatting shit about it. But moving on, we've got Torres Finney versus Azamat Bekaev. I actually like this fight. The rest of the fights I do actually really like, but I probably should have started with the happy ones, not the sad ones. Hey, but this Torres Finney versus Azamat Bekaev, I like it. I would have given Bekaev Abus Magomedov, but I like this matchup for him. He's a fun and cool guy. Everyone really quite likes Azamat Bekaev that's seen his stuff outside of the octagon. And the way to make him a fan favorite, on top of already being a funny, like, good guy, put him Torres Finney. This is great matchmaking. This is probably better than the Abu's fight that I made. Everyone hates Torres Finney, so let's capitalize on that and give Azamat Bekaev him. And I love this matchup. I think Dana knows as well that this is probably one of the toughest fights for Torres Finney outside of the rankings, and he obviously hates Torres Finney because he didn't sign him from the Contender Series like 3 times. So good job, Dana. I love this matchmaking. You did a good job, kid. You've done well. And I think that this is like Torres Finney's literal worst matchup outside of the rankings. He's literally not winning this. I don't see a path to victory. Um, and that's the thing. I could see Torres Finney beating a lot of these guys outside the rankings. So I'm happy that Dana made this. Good job. And Bekaev is a savage, so we're probably going to get a TKO win for him. But moving on, we have Alex Perez versus Steve Urseg. This is a good matchup. I'm not unhappy about this at all. I think that he needed to get a matchup like this, especially someone coming off an injury. I think Urseg has a bit of a advantage over because he's even though in his last few fights he's not looked that good, he still looks fresh and sharp. He doesn't look like he's not the same fighter. I say his last few fights, I would only mean the Kai Kara France fight and the Moreno fights. And the thing is I think the Moreno fight only went that way because he was scared of getting KO'd again after being smoked by Kai Kara France. And he didn't want to use his wrestling because it messed him up over Pantoja. If he can get back to the game he came in with for Pantoja, going to the scrambles still, trusting his boxing a little bit more, staying in the pocket for a little bit longer, and not dipping out doing that Volk thing where he puts his right hand just on his chin and pulling up with his left side of his chin completely free. If he doesn't do that and he trusts his boxing like he did before the Kai Kara France fight, and then he can scramble a bit, tire Perez out, maybe go on to that knee that he just injured, I think he's got a good chance of winning this. And I hope he really does win this because I could so see them cutting him after this because then it would be 4 in a row. He fought for the belt and then just lost after that. They pushed him way too fast. This is Steve Urseg was the guy that you're supposed to give Chris Matinho, not Malcolm Wellmaker. I'm not going to talk shit about the matchup anymore. Sorry guys, but I would have preferred an Asu Almabayev fight, someone who's going to grapple a little bit more with Urseg, as I think he's a counter grappler as a fighter. I think the best thing that he does is counter grapple and fight grapplers, but I still think that if he can utilize his own wrestling and just get scrambling, he will tire Perez out, and then his boxing will be more slick. But even then, I'm not saying that Perez doesn't have good boxing. I really like his boxing. He's a good, really good fighter on the feet. Yeah, I think he can take this one over Perez, but it's not going to be an easy fight in any way, shape, or form. I would expect this one to be going to a decision and a tough decision at that. Um, Moving on though to the last fight we're breaking down today, we got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. I'm not sure if this one's 100% announced. I've seen a lot on it this morning, especially from West Till Death and other media outlets. So I think that they will make this matchup. I heard Dan Ige calling for this matchup soon after his fight against Sean Woodson. So I think this is perfect. This is the best matchmaking they could have given Patricio Pitbull at this point. I would have made this matchup when he first came into the UFC because Dan Ige has always been a hyped guy, and everyone would have seen this matchup as a absolute fun like firefight. So I would have preferred them do this and not ruin Pitbull's hype coming into it. Like he could have solved his UFC jitters against a Dan Ige in his first fight and then gone on to have a better performance against Yair. But all in all, don't mind the fight. They only do that for a good reason to pay Pitbull nothing. So let's see how he goes in this. Watch them fight though. Danny Gay and Pitbull, they're so bloody similar. Like they're such bloody similar fighters. They both have a high and tight guard. They're predominant hook and overhand fighters, and they both have very good slick inside head movements. Their counters are beautiful. Slips and rips are nice. And they've both just got overall really similar boxing. It's a very good mirror matchup for this. Um, I really like this fight. I think I would probably pick Pitbull to be slightly more clean on the inside as Dan Egan. I reckon he'll catch him with a left hook, not finish him. It'll definitely be one of those 28-27 type decisions. And I think that this is going to be a really fun fight. Um, the one bad thing about this is that if Pitbull wins, I could just see him getting like such a like mid-level matchup. I don't think that they're going to give him a top 5 or top 10 guy after this. I think that they would give him a 10 to 15 ranked guy again. I don't mind that though. Build him up. He is 38, so you're not really going to have much more of him, but I like this fight. Everyone's going to enjoy it. Obviously, it says 318 there. If this is on the main card, maybe opening the main card, and this 318 card is the Poirier versus Holloway. Imagine this is opening the main card, and then we've got like a third fight in. We've got the Vittori versus God, I'm stupid. Why am I forgetting this guy's name? Brendan Allen. Like this would really help that card out. So Dana, I hope you've booked this. I'll pull up stumps here. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of these matches. And oh well, these fights. Sorry, I always call them matches. But yeah, let me know what you think of the fights. Give me a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.